financial wellness. Reach out to them for advice at 855-DON-GINO. And now back to your hosts, Don Getling and Gino Franti.
Well, we would love for you to reach out to us a lot more. Please ask those questions. We are a great resource. If we don't have the answers, we are now surrounded by the best professionals in Santa Clarita because of our 2 years now being on the radio show and interviewing the best of the best right here in Santa Clarita. We're talking your friends, your neighbors that are accountable to you right here in Santa Clarita. Reach out to us at 855-DON-GINO, 855-DON-GINO, or you want to be a little more discreet and ask your question, you can hit us up on email at donandgino@gmail.com. Pretty easy.
Yep, I like that. Or if you want to get your question answered live on the show right now, you can go to donandgino.com, hit watch, chat, and listen live, and join us in the chat room. Check us out in the vault.
That's right. You can see that Gino and I are wearing Barney today. we're the purple people eaters.
Yeah, and we have Santa Claus with us too.
I know.
They didn't give me the memo.
Ken, are you feeling very festive today?
Yes, I am.
You should see. He's
Christmas
already
more
good.
than Thanksgiving though.
Yeah, you got your Christmas. You're ready to jump into Christmas. I
Exactly.
mean, it's already all the stores are already there.
Definitely.
Yeah, if that was a crayon color, I'm sure it would be called Bordeaux.
Yeah.
They don't call stuff.
It would be called Scott Crayon.
Scott Crayon.
Oh! Wow.
That was pretty good. Huh?
That was. You are on fire today.
Yeah, we're teasing our good buddy Scott Crayon. He's a good guy out there and a fellow mortgage lender helping you out with finding your first home and second home and all that good stuff. And we just love teasing Scott. He's in the chat room, so he's giving Ken a hard time. So why don't you join us in the chat room at donandgino.com and have some fun with us. Just click on the Listen and Chat Live. It's good stuff. We got to throw a shout out, Shannon Fosna, just killing it with us, our new producer of the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show. And if you're interested in being on the show as a guest expert, got to be an expert, dead serious, got to be an expert, please reach out to us at donandgino.com. And, of course, a shout out to AP Productions, making us look good. They got a lot of work.
Photoshop all night long, guys.
No doubt. All right, Ken, since you are just killing it for us and going over great information as one of our good friends. I mean, this guy's a speaker. We just went to an event with 250 real estate agents that listened to Ken give expert advice to help our community help you, meaning help you save tens, listen to me, tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars by utilizing this great thing called the 1031 exchange. Let's touch a little bit more before we close out today. A few more of the pitfalls they need to know about, the challenges with possibly seller carrybacks, and reverse.
Okay, let's go. Reverse is a good tool, but let's go to seller carryback first.
Okay.
Seller carryback. We spoke about equal or greater value, or equal or greater equity. What seller carryback financing is you're using the equity from the sale to give the buyer a loan in the transaction. If you're thinking about a 1031 exchange and you're getting the listing, or you're talking about maybe doing seller carryback financing, be careful. What's going to happen is the equity is going to be eaten up in the form of a note. Once that happens, how do you go equal or greater equity into the property you're purchasing? Because the equity is now rolled into a piece of paper, basically. So in order to avoid, there are ways around it. There are ways to do it. The seller carryback financing could be a deferral in itself. So sometimes, you don't pay capital gain tax on the principal balance until you receive the principal balance. So if you have like an interest-only note that's not going to be due and for 5 years, you're not going to pay the taxes for 5 years down the road. But sometimes, the people need that equity, or they want to give 100% financing and seller carryback financing, but how do you do the 1031 exchange? What happens is basically you can come up with the money, the seller, instead of utilizing the equity from the sale, can come up with the cash funds out of pocket and kind of act as a lender. Instead of using the equity from the sale, prior to the close of escrow, they deposit the funds for the loan. That way all the equity could roll into the exchange and roll into the purchase or replacement property. So that's kind of the most common way to handle the seller carryback financing, but sometimes the seller doesn't have the money.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So how do you do it? So it can come into the exchange. We can hold on to the note and deed of trust, and take the payments until they're ready to close on a replacement property. At which point, the seller's going to have to figure out they can buy the note back. A third-party investor can buy the note back, or we've even had a couple instances where the note had actually rolled into the purchase of the replacement property as payment towards the purchase price.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah, that's very rare, but it's something to think about.
So, Ken, what's absolutely critical here is that people reach out to you.
Yes.
Before making an...
And I'm listening to all this going, I need an expert. I'll just go to Ken.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing is, the cost of bad advice is just absolutely astronomical. So I think it's really important that as soon as you're even considering selling any piece of investment property, a good place to stop is talk to Ken.
Right.
And then after you talk to Ken, I'm sure you're going to say, here's all this information. Now go talk to your CPA.
Yeah.
And then we'll circle back to the real estate agent. Now let's sell the property with this plan in place.
Yeah. And a lot of times it's the real estate agent that brings it up. When they're getting the listing, they know if it's the primary residence. Is it full primary residence? Then you can't exchange. Is it a portion of investment property? Duplexes.
You repeat that because I know we're going on. This is investment specific, investment property specific.
Correct. So if I have it could be a rental property that I've been renting out for years, or the commercial property. It's really any real estate property that's held as an investment property.
Okay. Yeah, we haven't talked too much about commercial. Does it work pretty much the same with commercial property?
Yeah, I works with commercial, industrial, all types of property, even vacant land.
Okay.
Vacant land can be exchanged too.
Okay.
So that's a good selling tool for a lot of real estate agents, for people that have vacant land that's sitting there. They're paying property taxes. They don't have an income on it.
They also probably don't have a lot of appreciation.
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes they do, depending on the location too.
And how long they've had it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Sure. And Ken, let's make sure that both our listeners, consumers, investors, and our real estate agents know how to get a hold of you. How can they get a hold of you?
Please call me anytime. It doesn't matter if escrow's open. Once you get the listing, get me involved. Call me on my cell phone, 818-307-0085, or you can shoot me an email at Harris, my last name Harris, at firstam.com. Spelled out, FIRSTAM.com.
And if you join us in the chat room, that information's in there for you right now. Shannon was nice enough to post that for us. So go ahead and join us in that chat room at donandgino.com. Hit watch and chat live to get Ken Harris's information.
Yeah, great information. Okay, last thing. I like this topic because it's a real good way to close, because it's a nice little trick here, a little bit reverse.
Reverse exchange. Good tool. It's a more expensive tool, but it's a good tool. It kind of eliminates the stress of the 45-day identification period. Reverse exchange is when you close on escrow on the property you're purchasing prior to closing on the property you're selling. So what has to happen is we create an LLC to come in, a special purpose entity, and park the property that they're going to purchase. They're not allowed to own both properties at the same time. So we buy the property. So we buy the property and park it and hold it until they're able to close on the property they're selling. So they have 180 days to do that. They have actually 180 days to complete the entire transaction.
So it opens up the period, right, is what it does. Is it opens up the period from 45 days to identify. Because 45 days in a market that doesn't have a lot of inventory could be challenging.
It's very challenging.
Yeah, or if you're doing a large commercial property, I could see where 45 days is nearly impossible.
Yeah.
Say you're switching out a hospital for a hospital. Who knows? Somebody owns a clinic or something like that.
Exactly.
Or a $10 million building for a $12 million building. It's going to be hard to identify, so a reverse is probably a great tool for those people.
Very good tool, yeah. The tricky part, though, is loans. If you're getting a third-party loan on that transaction, the third-party loan does need to be a non-recourse loan to us, the LLC that we create. So usually sometimes we could work through that, but a lot of times on residential property it's difficult, so they have to come in with all cash.
So still a better product for the larger transactions.
The larger transactions, more common, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, but we do them on residentials with people with all cash.
All right, great information. Mr. Ken Harris of First American Exchange. You're expert for 1031 exchanges, meaning if you own an investment property, you need to speak to Ken, period. Or if you are a real estate agent that helps a lot of you out there with your properties, then you need to speak to Ken Harris. That's easy. Again, email address.
KAHarris@firstam.com.
There you go.
First AM. That's
Yes,
like Don's always first AM in the gym. Every time I get in there, he's already there. He's like, "Hey, like, dude, what time do you wake up at?"
Too early, but early bird gets the worm. That's right, and you do too. If you just stay tuned to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show every Thursday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m., you will be the smartest person at the water cooler. But also, even better, it will save you tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, because of the great experts we have like Ken Harris. Thank you very much, Ken.
Thank you for having me.
What a great day. Love having you here, buddy.
Thank you.
A good friend and a good man. And stay tuned because we have another great guest coming back by popular demand, Mr. Randy Place, who was just on TV just a little while ago. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
HPS